Ballier gone out of the Clare Championship.
Yeah, big upset there. But I believe there was an incident with Tony Kelly that had a big kind of bearing on the game.
Yeah, it looked like from Buff Egan's video that he got a bit of a shoulder into the chest, taken off before half time, came back on again in the second half, went into full forward. Obviously wasn't himself. Donald Fitzpatrick tweeted in saying, Tony Kelly sub before half time, wind knocked out of him, reappeared in the second half. The fact that he's saying that he reappeared in the second half was pretty fruity. Ballier weren't exactly clinging their 5 subs to their chest. Jamie Fitzgibbon was apparently very good for Crusheen, so the final score was 18 points to 211.
So you leave yourself open. You leave yourself open as well to when you're relying on one player, even like with say Patrick Horgan with the Glen, that teams will target that player. And maybe, I'm not saying that they targeted him with a challenge to put him off or out of the game or anything like that, but you do leave yourself open when you're that reliant on one player, the teams will go after them.
Yeah, Niall DC, there are a couple of good players with Cratlow, and the fact that they lost with Ballier, the fact that they got to the All-Ireland final, lost a load of players and then went on to get to the Munster final again was some going. So Derek Lynch was tweeting that the teams left for 6 Mile Bridge, Aine, Kilnamona, Crusheen and Cratlow, who beat your lads, Clonlara.
My lads, it's just unbelievable. I just find for the talent that they have, and a couple of people on Twitter added to the names that we had mentioned in the video last day, and you put it all down on paper and you're thinking that's 2/3 of a team with an unbelievable amount of experience. It's just mad that they've only won county final for the talent they have.
And 6 Mile Bridge roll on, not just in the senior, by the way. The intermediates, the intermediates are gone. They lost on penalties in the intermediate quarter-finals. Niall Gilligan at 43 missed the penalty.
Oh no,
yeah,
that's harsh for everything that he's done.
Yeah,
guaranteed he's going to be fit. He'll be eligible to play senior now though, because they would have probably been keeping him for the intermediate as long as they were in the championship. But on 100% he'll play some part for 10-15 minutes.
After extra time, they were level 215 to 118 with Broadford, and O'Maloney was tweeting about Gilly being up for 6 Mile off the post and wide. He thinks the keeper touched it. And another one of his tweets that stuck out, Stefan McMahon up now for Broadford and buries into the top right corner, Bengali tiger stuff.
Like a lot of Twitter, I love Twitter, but at times like there's stuff on it, and the fact that everything comes out so quickly now can nearly be annoying from a journalist's point of view. But stuff like this is great. Like imagine you're following that on Twitter. Like you're not going to have video footage on like that, so it's amazing. Like in fairness,
I'd say the weather was fairly bad in Galway over the weekend. You just have to look at the scoreline between Turlockmore and St Thomas.
I couldn't believe this when I heard this.
8 points apiece. That must have been scandalous to watch.
Yeah, it must have been ridiculous.
And I can't imagine it's something to do with the quality of the players, but yeah, that's not ideal. I don't think there's too much riding on it. Just still group stages, but there were a few games where there was a lot riding on it. Tommy Larkins beat Portumna 225 to 114, so it didn't just bait him; they bet him out the gate.
It's a fair beating now. Like Tommy Larkins are kind of middle of the road kind of Galway side. So
Darragh Egan, who's the tip coach, was involved with them last year.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Cyril's club, of course.
Yeah, they're going to meet Gort in the relegation final. There's a couple of relegation finals. Castlegar who beat Mellows at the weekend. I'll come back to that. Gort are going to play Portumna, and Aidan Hart of Gort, he was saying, he put up a tweet saying, club championship yesterday, how much time will be added on, ref? And the ref goes, lads, I don't want to be here all evening, I want to go for pints. What a fruitcake, says Aidan Hart.
That's hilarious, but it doesn't surprise me. Some of the stuff that goes on in matches is just bizarre. Some of the things that even referees say back to players, I'd have to say allegedly, but by all accounts it is true. We recently had a referee in Offaly who told one player, your man does a bit of singing on the side, and he told him to stick to the singing, like during a match.
Oh,
and it's just like, that's like seriously, like that's I know they're professionals technically. Like you can't. There's no room for personal comments or anything like that.
Not to mention know the ref and play the ref a little bit, try and get him on your side. Yeah. So as I said, Castlegar, they beat Liam Mellows. There's a lot of city bragging rights there. Castlegar won the most titles ever.
They're in relegation now though, yeah?
Yeah, Liam Mellows only won it a couple of years ago. So, obviously Liam Mellows aren't in relegation. They're still going to be going through the group stage. Gerard Farrer at wing forward for Castlegar, sort of roam and roll. Some of the best wrists going.
Yeah,
maybe it didn't
happen for ball strikers going. Yeah. He played. Did he win the 3 All-Ireland minors in a row back in the day?
Can't remember for sure.
Definitely played in. No, he could have played in nearly 4. I think he played when he was under 15 actually. But he was class. Yeah, a forgotten All-Star also, by the way. Yeah. All started off.
Was that 05?
05,
Yeah. Of course, that game against Kilkenny stood out. Dean Higgins got a goal, I think, for Castlegar at one stage. Tyke Harron, one of the notable players for Liam Mellows, was, as I said, won it a couple of years ago. And Angus Callanan came in for Liam Mellows. I believe Cathal Ryan was brilliant at full-back for Castlegar, and he's 25 or 6, but, you know, a good full-back backup option maybe if Dahi Burke ever goes down. But yeah, that's big with the bragging rights. But
Moore as well are flying it. I didn't go into too much, but I think they're unbeaten. Are they unbeaten?
Well, Moore are after getting a second promotion, so they went up through junior, won the intermediate, and now they're going up to senior. Grode McInerney and Niall Burke are the players that people will know. Clarence Bridge, who were All-Ireland champions in 2011, are going back up to senior. And like it's just kind of mad the way teams flop up and down. I mean, the whole Galway system with Galway teams getting through to an All-Ireland semi-final directly is an absolute joke, as everyone knows. Because look, there's Clarence Bridge getting relegated a couple of years after winning All-Ireland. Now Portumna, who've won All-Ireland in 2014 and obviously won those all those All-Irelands before that, they're in a relegation clash with Gort, who were in 4 county finals this decade, winning 2 of them. So I think the idea that a Galway team gets straight through to the All-Ireland semi-final, I definitely don't agree with it. Moving on to the Tipperary Championship, the man himself, Owen Kelly, the legend.
Like when he did his cruise shit
at 35 a couple years ago,
you're just thinking, he'd said away into the sunset now. He's had an unbelievable career and he's still going strong. Did a great win at the weekend.
The 3 kiddies at the home and all.
And
there they were posing with him as he lifts the OurGame Cup to win the South Final.
David Herrick had a very good tweet actually on Saturday night after the football. He was wondering after the final whistle, he was like, where did he keep all the kids after? Like, are they all in a cage or something? Because they all just appear out of nowhere at the end. I just thought it was brilliant actually.
Well, congrats to Owen Kelly there. Plenty of stuff happening in the mid-championship in Tip. So obviously, for those who aren't familiar, that if you haven't got through your county group, you can get back into the knockout stage of the county by winning your division. In the mid, it's Thurles. Thurles are gone because they're already out of the county championship. Now they're after getting knocked out by Upperchurch by a point, 119 to 120. Shane Brophy at the Tip Star, he tweeted the earliest they've been out of the race since 2013.
Nina Garge.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, Shane.
Shane
Two great papers. Great papers.
They're writing it kind of been on the wall. They're either Thurles.
You backed them to beat Upperchurch.
Yeah, they're about 1-5 or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. I tell you.
But they're writing, if they're going well, they're rarely beaten. Like it's their form is very consistent. If they're going poorly, it's the same. Yeah,
I'm not sure. There might be a bit of hassle in the castle there. Lockmore, they got beaten by Moycarkey by 9 points, and most people would think what's going on there. But Lockmore, they arrested Noel McGrath, John Maher, Liam McGrath, Liam Tracy, and Lorcan Egan. David Kennedy still playing at 43. Now,
is that not a bit of a joke though that they're in a championship and does the mid mean anything to them then?
Well, obviously it means something because there are strong teams in there, Lockmore, Drum, Thurles, that kind of thing. But for everyone, much like winning the All-Ireland is the key, winning the county is the key. So Lockmore, dual club, maybe they thought, right, we need to rest players, we need to be smart here, and going out of the mid is probably the best thing we can do for our chances of winning county titles.
I don't have to question the structure, but then if teams don't care enough about it, the
structure's insane. Like the Tipperary County Board know they need fewer teams in the senior championship, and they're slowly trying to move towards that by having the OurGame Cup, but it's a complicated thing and it's not worth getting into now. But the mid semi-finals are going to be Moycarkey against Upperchurch and Drum against JK Brackens. In the north, Burris hammered Rossgrey, so big win for Burris back into
they're obviously flying at the moment. They're
going very well, and Moose Conor Kenny, he's joint captain of the team along with Sean McCormick, brother Dan McCormick. But the reason that we'll have to dwell on Burris for a minute is because there was a Burris Lee man on Room to Improve at Dermot Bally on Sunday evening, and he gave an absolute exhibition. Joe Kenny, who's his cousin Phoebe, is the father of Conor Kenny, the reason I bring him up. But Joe, his father was Sean Kenny, who was the legendary captain of Tipperary in 1950 All-Ireland. Who could forget? Anyway,
I tried to forget who had Tip winning anything, to be honest with you.
Laura lost by 5 points to Templederry.
Without Brian Hogan as well, who departed fairly quickly after their All-Ireland win, I think.
Yeah, and Bonner's out injured, of course. And Burgess beat Ballina. And then the big one was Killadangan. They beat Killarwan 122 to 216, which means the semi-finals are Killadangan against Templederry, Burgess against Bursley, double header abroad in Nina next Sunday.
Ideal. What more would you want?
Oh,
Nina's a lovely actually venue. I think it's a lovely
McDonagh
venue.
Park,
Kind of that old-fashioned kind of venue. Is that?
I was rearing it. I was rearing it. Cork Championship at the weekend. St Finbarr's 15 points, Bishopstown 14 points. Now that sounds like a turkey of a game as well. 15 points to 14. So it's 10 years since the Bars last reached a semi-final. Damien Callahan played midfield and scored 2 points, and his brother Connor scored 2 points as well from the forward line. Bishopstown goalkeeper Ken O'Halloran hit the post with a long range free with the last puck of the game. So that'll be the Bars against Sarsfields or Enniskillen in the semi-final.
They're going to be big underdogs going into that game realistically.
Speaking of underdogs, Carrigtwohill 317, Ballyea 216. So Carrigtwohill are going to be against the Glen Rovers or Newtown Chandram in the semi-final. James Mulcahy came on after like 22 minutes and he scored 3 goals in the second half. Yeah, so he's after sewing it into the management there, isn't he? But just on Carrigtwohill, Kevin Fennelly tweeted in saying Carrigtwohill won the quarter-final, play Intermediate League, and they were down by 7 points at half-time in their backdoor game, underdogs in every fixture. So they lost by 24 points to Bars in the first round, and it ended up being, earlier on, first championship win since 2015.
Jesus, right.
Yeah, excluding relegation playoff, when they beat Bandon in round 3 and then Ballyea. Like, that's some comeback.
It is a serious corner.
In the Limerick Championship, Kilmallock and Doon.
It's kind of as we thought, isn't it?
Yeah, no real surprise. So Doon beat Ballybrown 123 to 215. Kilmallock won 22 points to 114 over Ahan.
Sets up 2 brilliant quarterfinals, 2 brilliant semi-finals.
Yeah, Kilmallock, Napier, Patrick's well Doon. By the way, on Ahan, Niall Moran with 5 points from play for Ahan.
Jeez, that's fair going.
36 years of age, and he scored a goal from a 58-minute free.
I love the fact lads like that. Like, he's gone off the Limerick scene. He's gone off the Limerick scene. The guts of a decade, I'd say. Probably 6 or 7 years anyway.
But didn't he come back briefly there for a while around 13 or 14?
He might have had. Yeah, that's still 6 years ago.
Yeah, he's 36 now.
Still going strong. That's all he is. Still going strong. Yeah.
The Antrim Championship, so there was a bit of controversy here. First of all, I'll go through the one where there wasn't. Dunloy beat Lochgiel 20 points to 17, so that was revenge for losing the semi-final last year. But the holders Cushendall, they drew with St John's, and the tweet from Unit Updates was Cushendall attack is ruled wide, their forwards are incensed, referee overrules and gives a point, blows it up, and it's a draw. So St John's led by a point when Nugent, I can't remember his first name now, scored a 13 point of a game with a 65. Fergus McCambridge shot initially flagged wide, and then the ref gave a point. So
fair play to the ref, because the easy thing to do would have just been to go with your umpire or whatever. So maybe we had a better view of it.
Fair play if it's the right decision.
Yeah.
Down Championship then, Ballycran beat Ballygalget 20 points to 17, and in Derry looks like Schlockneil are in rude health, 132 to 112 against Lavey, and Kevin Lynch has beat Ballinascreen 314 to 112.
Yeah, I wonder is Magic still going up and down. Actually, probably is. Probably the biggest hurling player I've ever seen on a field, I'd say.
Yeah,
like just hands like
Tyson Fury on a hurling field.
Not too far off it, with good hands as well. Yeah, but Schlockneil looking rude health. Yeah, they're probably going to try and make a big assault on Ulster and All Ireland again if they get half chance.
So that's the Hurling Club roundup. Lots of tweets in giving us information. It's very hard to keep track of anything, so if there are any stories, please do let us know, and don't forget to subscribe to the page on YouTube, and hit the bell if you want notifications of new videos.